Hey everyone, it is Jay Soloff from Investors Alley, and this is our options trade of the week. We are here at Market Chameleon looking at the unusual options page. Before we look at this, just want to reiterate that this is not a trade recommendation for one of my services. This is a trade for educational purposes only. So I sort these by volume to see where the action is. We're seeing a lot of action. Pfizer once again near the top. Moderna, there was some news today that the booster for COVID will be available in the States in September for those with the Pfizer and Moderna vaccinations. So that's why those are up there. Interesting thing today, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper down the list than I normally do here. Cboe. So the Chicago Board Options Exchange, the exchange that I worked on when I was a floor trader, largest options exchange in the world. There was news today that CME, the mercantile exchange, was going to buy them for, or offered to buy them for $16 billion, and the stock shot up. Whatever amount would be equivalent to the purchase price from CME, and it was up like 10% at one point, and then quickly CME said, no, we didn't do that. That never happened, and it shot back down. So, and kind of interesting though, because typically when you get news coming out, people try to buy that news as quickly as possible, right, and try to get in before the market adjusts. But sometimes that news is nothing more than a rumor, and you run into problems, and this is a good situation of that. So you can see 91% calls. A lot of people were trying to take advantage of it when it moved up, but it ended up closing down 1%. So just looking at the actual trades, and once again, we're sorting by quantity, right? And you can see that even at the highest quantity, this was an institutional action. The biggest trade was 200, although that was a $100,000 trade, so it's still decent money. But you can see these first few trades, they're all calls, and several of them expiring at the end of this week. So people were trying to take advantage of that quick move. You can see buying the ass, but whatever was out there, they're trying to grab these at the money calls. They're willing to pay whatever is being offered here. You could see here, buying all these, just trying to sweep as much as they can and take advantage of the move higher. You could see though, 133. The 130s were bought at 133, and now the market closed at close to 123. So obviously, they could have gotten out of the trade for a winner before that happened. But it's interesting to see the biggest trades were people trying to get in there as quick as possible. So sometimes it pays to be a little bit more patient. And generally trying to beat the market in terms of speed is not going to work out, right? Because you have these algorithms and super fast trading establishment. I mean, that's all they do is trade for speed. And so I think generally speaking, you want to focus on, patience, right? Because it's hard for a situation like look how wide this market is, and someone's paying $5 for something that's probably worth $3 or whatever it might be, and only to see, and that was when the market was at 124. So they might have been able to get out of this trade as a winner. Who knows, but it's just these sort of situations can be very difficult to time. But very interesting to see the amount of trading and the quick amount of purchases of all these calls immediately when the news is out. But again, here's the chart, the one-day chart. You can see shot up, but when the news came out from Financial Times or whatever, and it went from 125 to 135 pretty quickly, and then people trading that situation, and then boom, CME denies it, back down. So this would have been a tough window to try to make money in here, but it's certainly possible. But not the sort of trade that I try to focus on. Again, I'm generally looking at things with position trading a little bit, having a little more patience and having a thesis that may play out over time. It's hard to make money if you're trading like this. So, but anyways, interesting to see a lot more volume than normal, obviously, because of that action. But that also makes the options more expensive. So something to be aware of. But if you're interested in just buying calls and puts in stocks, I do have a service an introductory service called Option Floor Trader Pro. There's a link on this page. It's a good way to get your feet wet with option trading. All right, I'll be back next week with another trade of the week.